the IAB YouTube site. My name's Mark Uncles. I'm Professor of Marketing at the University of New South Wales, and I'm the judge of the IAB Interactive Advertising Awards for 2008. Delighted to be involved as chairman of the panel of judges last year for the IAB Effectiveness Awards, and it's great to be invited back this year to take on the challenge of looking at all the entries for 2008. Close to 50 other judges were involved in the process, and they were nominated on the basis of being experts in their respective fields. This peer judging process ensured that the whole process was fair and equitable. The process was divided into two rounds. The first round was quantitative in nature, and the judges assessed the entries in terms of strict criteria. And then the winners from that round went forward into the second round, which is much more of a qualitative process where there's an opportunity for the judges to discuss the entries and swap views and clarify anything which was unclear. Creativity and media strategy were really uppermost in the minds of the judges as they were looking at the entries, but they were also looking for clear signs of innovativeness and effectiveness. And it might be useful if I sort of explain the sort of thinking which went in behind each of those criteria. Creativity was very much in terms of we want people to sit up and take notice of the campaigns. There needs to be a wow factor, some sort of creative sparkle, and that needs to come across to the judges as much as to the people in the target audience. Humour is obviously one way in which that can be achieved, and one campaign which sticks out in my mind in that regard is the Nike Stuff History campaign, which did this with real panache. You had the sceptical pensioner ranting and raving about the prospects of the Socceroos in the World Cup, which I thought was spot on for the target audience, beautifully executed, and they produced a very nice case in support of that. Whereas Mitsubishi Motors took a rather different approach to creativity. It wasn't humorous, but they focused in really on people's interest in cars and mechanics and sort of taking parts of cars apart in the garage, and the whole website experience was as if you were in somebody's garage. So two very different ways of expressing creativity, but in both cases a certain wow factor is important. Innovation is another important factor that we considered, and here we're thinking about innovation in terms of creativity or media or both. And the sort of things which we were looking for was creative and innovative use of iPods, iPhones, interactive communications more generally, new ways of engaging consumers in the communications and with the brand. A good example was the 7-Eleven Slurp Off campaign, which was edgy and particularly targeted at the 16 to 24-year-old age group, the late teens, so that edginess worked very well in that case. And there was a very effective use of viral communication, and that was used in innovative ways. Another factor which we would like to stress, I think, as judges, is the importance of demonstrating the effectiveness of the campaign. And that's not just saying that it's effective, but actually showing that it's effective in terms of presenting some data or statistics. After all, plenty of statistics are collected. To show that the campaign really grabbed the attention of people in the target audience, not just the population at large, but that target audience. Their attention was grabbed, and that helps to build the brand. That the people in the target audience were really engaged and captivated by the campaign, and that then translates into some positive attitude towards the brand. And so it's not just engagement with the communications, but there's that link with the brand such that there's some demonstrable effect in terms of building the brand longer term, or some behavioural related response. People finding out more information, going to the websites and taking action accordingly. The 2007 winners demonstrated these criteria very nicely in terms of creativity, innovativeness and effectiveness, and perhaps the best show winner of the Street Idol campaign, Telstra's Street Idol, very nicely demonstrates this. It was engaging for the target audience. The target audience was clearly defined. There was interactivity with people submitting entries either by mobile phone or other means as part of the Street Idol campaign. And then in terms of the case, it was properly documented and written up in order to convince us as judges that this was effective. Whereas I think if you look at those campaigns which lost out and didn't win any awards, then to be honest, some of them were quite dull, quite unengaging, even for us as judges, let alone the intended target audience. So my recommendation, if you're thinking about a 2008 entry, is to take a long, hard look at campaigns like the Telstra Street Idol, see how it works in terms of the criteria we've been talking about. Judges also discussed a few other issues which I think might be worth mentioning here. One was to do with the global nature of some of the campaigns, and the X-Men campaign sticks in my mind, where you've got a global brand and a global communications effort, but remember that the awards that we're looking at here are the Australian IAB Interactive Advertising Awards. So what I think would be very helpful to the judges is if it's explained to what extent the local team have added value and an extra contribution to the campaign, either in terms of creativity or media or both. Another issue which we discussed as a panel of judges was integration. We're all being told the importance of integrated marketing communications. It's become a motherhood statement, but again, with these awards, the emphasis is on interactive advertising. So we need to be told how the interactive advertising component of an integrated campaign fits in, what is the real strength of the interactive component, and how, if you like, that lifts what would be perhaps an offline campaign, but it's added, it's enhanced through the online element. And a final area where we had some discussion was in terms of this being interactive advertising. So it's not just giving awards to snazzy, attention-grabbing websites, it's also about getting people to those websites. So driving traffic and grabbing people's awareness so that they are encouraged to go to the website. So those are not so much criteria to keep in mind, but issues to think about when writing up a case, and helping the panel of judges to think through those things rather than to having to second guess or use their informal knowledge of the campaign. Reflecting back on last year, what we see with the winners is clear demonstration of creativity, a media strategy which is ideally suited to the intended target audience, and clear demonstration of the effectiveness of the campaign. So properly documented, supported with some statistics and other supporting evidence. And we saw that particularly strongly in the consumer goods area and automobiles. It'd be nice to see equivalent support and equivalently good campaigns right across the board in all the other categories. So I guess what we're looking forward to in 2008 is to see agencies and their winning clients putting in the time and the effort to produce some great campaigns and some great cases, which will actually help to, I think, enhance the professionalism of the area, demonstrate the importance of interactive advertising more generally, and perhaps also help to attract and retain the skilled staff and the interest in the sector that we also very much want and desire to see. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best for the future.